Welcome to New Boat Videos 101. This will be my best attempt to show you whatever small new things there are in this one versus the old. So anyway, boat dock now has cleats here and here and there and there. Now it's kind of cool to have it out here the majority of the time, because then stuff from the trees doesn't fall into there. We put cleats over here so that you can park the boat here if kids want to swim off of the end of the dock. I'm sure you should remember how to do that, which is pretty easy. So you just under, over, and then a loop. Like so, under, tight, oh, battery low, under, tight. That's all you need to do. Don't need to wrap it around a whole bunch of times, just that. These dock fenders are pretty neat. There's two more, I actually have four more that I bought for the boat, but these have these cool clips that we found that came with it. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but basically you slide this button back and it slides right out. You know, you don't have to tie anything. It just goes right in like that. Also, the top, when you put the top up, it clips into here and the buttons slide the same way. So you've been on pontoons before, but I'll just tell you anyway. Door, all you do is pull up and then it slides over. You got to pick it up over that little footrest there, which is kind of cool. Like, then it just goes to there. But if you want to open it up all the way, you got to pick it up. While we're here, you'll see cup holders everywhere. There's a neat trick for those later, by the way. And trash can. Kind of cool. Skis are in here. There's two new ones, and then a bunch of noodles. And I had to save the old oh shit paddle, or I call it the up shit's creek paddle from the old boat, so it's in there. And then there's life jackets under there. Those will probably be the ones you want to use the most. And then there's literally jackets kind of hidden under all sorts of seats. Underneath this back seat in the back main part is this, the table out of the way. Big, kind of weird, but could be useful. Turns into a changing room. So, you know, you can get out of your unmentionables into your unmentionables. So now back to this really comfy chair. Seriously, it is comfy. And this boat, unlike the, excuse me, Dad even mentioned, unlike the ski boat, you can sit in this thing and put it in idle and not have to like steer it back and forth. Oh, pretty. That's awesome. We'll just stay here for a minute. Okay, and you put it in gear and you don't have to do the old boat went back and forth. This one will just goes. You got a bunch of switches. There's a whole bunch of interesting lights. The only one I noticed is underwater light, which is backed by the motor. It doesn't seem to work. To dig into that, it's courtesy lights. They light up down there under the floorboards, which is really nice at night. I will say also I've noticed that if that's on for for I don't know, seems like a couple of minutes and the radio is on because it's on the same fuse, that little fuse pops. It's not a fuse as much as it's a breaker, so you can push it back down after about 10 seconds and you're good to go. But I gotta dig into that as well. Panel lights are as it sounds. So you hold these down and these are kind of like, it's on a dimmer. It lights these up, and the more you hold it down that way, the brighter it gets, dimmer it gets. Rail lights, these are like a little courtesy light on the outside that goes around the rub rail. Can't see it when you're in the boat, but we're on a dock. It's kind of cool looking. cup holder lights. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Didn't know it had until we got it. So, nice little trick. Dock lights. Those are nice when you're coming into the dock. Just, you're not supposed to drive with them on like all the time. Just when you're coming into the dock, basically it gives you headlights. Nav and anchor. So, just back is your anchor light. Like if you're just out and you're floating at night, you just turn your anchor light on. But if you turn it forward, it turns on your red and green lights as well as your anchor light. You know what that one is. And then down here you have bilge pump. Now the only thing that the bilge pump does is it pumps out any water that might be in the ski well, because that's the only thing that's really exposed. Meaning if rain comes in, it could gather in the ski well until the bilge pump's in there. And then power top, which is also kind of neat, is the bimini top. So you press it forward or up and it goes up. And so what that does is it goes up a certain distance, and then if you have to unzip that thing, and then you pull the rest of it forward. So that's as far as it goes. And then you would grab, these sections and pull it forward, and then clip that little thing right there into that. To put it back down, just press down, and you will see that it is going down. Isn't that flag so cool? I think it's so classy. Back to driving now. On, and then you just kind of tap it, and it starts. It's fuel injected, so you don't have to do the whole carburetor pump that we used to on the old boat. Also kind of neat, which is just, I don't know, techie. Turn it to on. Go over here to the throttle. You just press this button. Pretty cool. Trim is on here, up, down, pretty self-explanatory. I have put it up a few times when we were in shallow-ish areas. I'm sure Dad will tell you that yes, I already bounced off of something. I don't know what I was thinking. I actually think I was aiming for a shallow water buoy. It was like the first day. It's like the first time we were out in the boat. I'm an idiot. Also, you'll find that there is no more, like on the old boat, you had to pull up on the red, whatever it was, and then push forward into gear. These, I guess now it's more electronic. So really, all you do is push it forward, and it tells it to go into gear. So there's no more cables anymore that you're kind of manually doing it. So it's really kind of smooth. All it is that, and then you're off to the races. And same thing for reverse. Radio. Hold down the source and it lights up, and that rear aux in is for that, which is that cord. So you can plug a mini to mini out of your phone into this and play music from your phone. Also, you do have a cigarette plug to charge said phone, and at the moment I have a cigarette adapter for a USB and a mini to mini for your phone. I will leave that in here. I will say you probably have to supply your own USB cable for your phone. That's it. If for some reason you're not hearing your phone through here, toggle this and make sure you're on aux. You can go to tuner, CD. Yes, it's actually a CD player, which is kind of cool and old school. So I get turned off when I did that. So, oh, see, that courtesy thing popped because they were on. I wondered how long. Yep, it has something to do with when the radio is on and those courtesy lights are on. So, see how I push it down? Now it's down. See, now we turn it back on again. So I'm gonna look into that. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but so we'll hit source, CD aux. That's what you want right there. And this is your volume. And then if you want to turn it off, is you hold down the button off. And that's it. Got a depth gauge. I will say it works better than the old one. It doesn't work real well when you're kind of at speed, meaning if you're idling around it works fine, but if you're driving 30 miles an hour it doesn't work great. I think this is a cooler because it has a drain. Still pretty. Alright, down here, this seat right here. So what you do is you tilt them up and then they come forward. And they're on like little latches so they don't come off all the way. Anyway, in this one I had some more stuff shoved in here. This is the old ski rope handle. Not much use anymore because the ski rope itself is broke. But it's here. Here is a new ski rope that I just purchased. And this big sucker is the rope just for the tube. I will say that overall it seems pretty clean. I've been working on this stuff a little bit. Yeah, some of it's coming off, some of it's not. I think these are mildew stains. As for putting on and off the cover, I've done it once. It was just, you figure it out eventually. It's got plastic clips on the cover that end up clipping onto, you know, here they kind of go. There's two little bungee cords. They're kind of like two little loops. They go back, one there and one there. So if you find the bungee cords, know that they are in the back. Everything else is kind of trial by fire. And there's 4 poles that go 1, 2, 3, 4. Best to take that out, put it underneath there, tilt the seat back so it doesn't get in the way of the tarp, and then one more pole goes right here and literally snaps into the canvas to hold up this area here. Some updates since I made the video, which was when we first got here, and now it's been a week and a half. You see chairs been moved down here. Dad got new chairs for up there. Wanted to put a couple down here because Mom didn't want to get rid of them. Found a place to wedge the tube. I inflated that for you. I'll show you a couple things there. As for the boat, I've found that it is best to put the top up when it's going to rain, just because the cover, like the boot that goes over the cover when it's down, it can collect water on the inside of it. And I think that's what's caused the underside of that whole thing to kind of get mildewy and whatnot. Plus it's quicker for it to dry out if it's all out and about. So now you can see the poles and where they go. Very exciting. I forgot the tube is a double tube, so I would recommend, if you have one person can ride it, which is fine, but I haven't pulled anybody yet with the boat, so I would recommend, if you're pulling people, both tube or especially skiers, have anybody that's sitting in the boat with you sit in the front. I think it has maybe a little bit of a slow leak. I feel like there was more in the air in there the other day. All you need to do is just undo the top part and put the pump from, you know, our big pump. Put that in that hole right there. Yeah, there, spider. Eek. And then, yeah, so watch for spiders when you grab the tube. But when you deflate the whole thing, unscrew the big square, and that'll be like a quick release for air for the whole tube. See a spider. But the rope comes, you know, from the back under, and then it hooks on. So I think it's very similar to the hook that we had on our ski boat. So basically loop it and then go like that. As for driving the boat, I would say it's about the same. For the most part, it's the same. So there's, I don't think anything that we're going to be doing out here that's gonna that you would notice a huge difference. Meaning, the only thing I would say is, you know, don't turn 90 degrees when you're going 35 miles an hour. Other than that, I don't think you'll notice too much of a difference. It's very cool. It's very fun. Enjoy.